Baylor National Championship basketball coach Scott Drew with me, David Smoke, 365 Sports. I don't even know where to start.
How about the roster?
I mean, it's like what you probably, like, I don't even know what it, okay. So when you have to replace basically everyone, is it about filling the roster, making sure you're multi-dimensional, making sure you guys are better on defense, or you can still fill it up and score points?
Yeah, great question. I think first and foremost, it starts with prayer, and second of all, God gives us people that He wants us to have, and that's people that are going to be bought in for preparing champions for life, spiritual, academic, character formation, athletic, and then people that are going to represent Baylor University, Waco, Central Texas. So you get the character right, you get the work ethic right, you get the heart right, and then generally what you do is you see where you're deficient, and then you try to make changes or adjustments. And I think last year you saw size and length probably hurt us at times, depth maybe at times, and we tried to address those, and we tried to bring in more size, more length, more depth, and we were able to do that. Now, hopefully we can blend everybody together, stay injury free, and go from there.
You have had the culture of joy. The book is behind me, in fact, on my shelf with a lot of collectibles that I have and a couple of remnants of the national championship game, my media credential, the culture of joy. And that's the way it is there. Well, if that's the case, how come all of a sudden everybody was gone? What is it, just the way basketball and the NCAA and college sports is now?
Yeah, great question. I think back before NIL in the portal, full transparency, we didn't obviously have many people leave, and when we did, I mean, you failed as a coach like you failed them. And now there were always some situations where it was best because what they wanted we couldn't provide playing time opportunity wise, and you understand that. Other times it might have been a discipline situation where you had no choice, but players need to go. But truly, people that you wanted to stay helped your program. Those get you as a coach. Now with the portal, it's just more business involved. And what I mean by that is, at the end of the day, everybody does not have unlimited resources. So you have to choose where and who to spend them with, as well as who you can help them maybe achieve what they want on the court wise. So I say all that to say, sometimes culture, joy, everyone that left, I can say our coaching staff enjoyed working with, and I think they enjoyed their time at Baylor. If you heard the coach or the players' interviews following our last loss, and to hear them talk, I think the preparing champions for life we did a great job with, and I think the players all bought in with. Our team could have used more length, more depth last year, and obviously injuries affected us. But at the same time, moving forward, now you have agents involved, and if they want a certain amount for a certain to retain a player, you have a choice to make. Is it attainable, and do you spend money toward that? And you just have to make tougher choices.
You had to also change your staff a little bit, obviously, with Sanchez coming in from Virginia. What a great hire that was. Do you also think, we'll discuss him, that just the attrition of losing so many guys, coaches that are now head coaches elsewhere or second in command elsewhere, did that catch up with you a little bit? The positive of them getting jobs, but also the fact you had to change so many times in the last 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, I think definitely more stability in a coaching staff. You get deeper relationships with guys, and then when they leave, new assistants come in. You're starting over from scratch relationship wise, and just the way college basketball works. A head coach can't be there for everybody. That's why the staff is so important, and that does affect the program. That's why your best programs usually have more stability in the coaching ranks than not. And you look at, for a number of years, we would only have one coaching change, and that allowed the other assistants to really help the new coach out as well. And with so many changes in such a rapid period of time, definitely as a staff, I thought really enjoyed working with our staff. But will obviously be better year two than year one. Like any freshman, you expect to be better in year two, and you expect to be better in year three. And that's part of the downside of being a successful program. People want your guys, and when they get promoted, and most of them, their goals are to be head coaches. Similar to when, if a guy can be a first round guaranteed pick, most of them don't come back to college, and that's a promotion to be in the NBA as a first round pick. And when you can be a head coach at a place that you want to go, that's a promotion, and most people go.
Scott, the overseas trips, you've done those before, and you've had great success, I believe, almost every Canada, et cetera. Is this year the overseas trip even more important than ever before because of such, my God, there's people coming from every angle, different players.
Yeah, I think definitely it's a huge advantage every year you have an overseas trip. And you say why? First, it's because you get more practice time allotted during those. If it's a foreign tour, it's 10 days. For us, basically, when we start tomorrow, we'll have a lot more practice time leading up to that trip than you would if you didn't have, you weren't representing the USA in the university games. At the same time, one thing that does make it a little more challenging on a foreign tour, all your players play. In the university games, only your American passport players are able to play. So that doesn't give you as big advantage as you would have normally in a foreign tour, where you get to play games with your whole roster. But definitely the practice time will be invaluable. Us having a chance to find out what this group does best, put them in positions to be successful, them getting a chance to learn one another. And then obviously being on a team, bonding is important. And there's no better place to bond than overseas, where you take away some of the technology because of the time change and whatnot, and you just spend more time with each other.
You have the House settlement has been approved. Mac had some comments about that yesterday, and we know about the number. Do you have any input on the percentage that men's basketball will get, or is that kind of cut and dried?
The great thing is total faith in Mac and Linda and everyone running our university. So I let them do their job. They let me do my job, and I get to concentrate on basketball and let them focus on those decisions.
With the NIL and now whatever changes, I still don't get it all. And if I don't get it all, I mean, I don't know how anyone does. I don't even know if players understand the new rules or whatever, or coaches. Can you trust players the way you once did?
Well, I think trust is something that is all relative, and what I mean by that, the way the rules were prior to this House settlement, what you could raise, you could spend, and at the end of the day, I mean, if anybody working with you, we give 2 times, 3 times, 5 times the amount of money to, there's a chance they leave. If things stay even or close to even, they probably stay. And that's the great thing about Baylor is people don't want to leave Baylor. They appreciate Baylor. So with the House settlement, things become more standard. And if things are more even, I'm telling you, people are choosing Baylor. So we leaving. So my point is, we're going to be winning recruiting battles because people value and respect what we have here.
A lot of the, yeah, I'm sorry. A lot of the players that you brought in, the one that I saw live was Skillings at Cincinnati.
Yeah,
he I think might have been one of the first games you ever played at the new arena. And I mean, this guy has length. He's explosive. I kind of watched him in that game. That's the only one I've really seen. But you've brought in a lot of different pieces here.
Yeah.
How difficult was it to piece all that together to make sure all of them might fit together? And you may not even know until you start to play in November.
Well, that's where the prayer comes in, and then the hard work and evaluation and staying true to what culture and what kind of team you want. And with us, why after this draft we're going to be the only program to have 5 straight top 19 picks. We're still one of 3 programs to win a game in the tournament since 2019. And we're one of 2 programs to be a top 3 seed in the last 5 NCAA tournaments. So that's a lot of winning, and a lot of winning starts with the character and culture you want. And I know a lot of people haven't seen the guys that we're bringing in, but the good thing is hopefully you see them a lot this year, and hopefully they're really successful. We feel good with how they'll represent our university and their opportunities to be successful. You mentioned Dan. Dan averaged 15 points against Baylor. So if you can't beat him, join him, right? So he's somebody that 7'2" wingspan, can do a lot of different things. And hopefully the Dan Skillings that played against us, we can get the whole year. And he's somebody that can really affect the game on both ends of the court because of his size and length. And then we can talk about anybody else you want individually, but we have a lot of guys that are two-way guys, play offense, play defense, care about winning, great teammates, great work ethic, and a lot of good things can happen when you start with that.
We had a chance to talk to Tunde Yesufu. We had a chance to visit with Obi from Wyoming, Rataj at Oregon State, among a couple others. You had Isaac Williams, there's White from Omaha. They made a great run this year. I mean, these seem to be, you hope, not just good basketball players, but as you said, good people, good guys that fit what you want. But these guys can play. I mean, they come from different variety of levels and stuff. I mean, it seemed like you guys may have hit not a jackpot, but it seemed like these guys can all play.
Well, I'll be honest. Yes, they can, but there's a lot of good players out there. Now the question is, what do you prioritize in those good players? And most of all, these guys will fit the culture. Joy, they'll represent Baylor, Central Texas, Waco the right way. And they all have upside. And last, but definitely not least, they all chose Baylor, meaning most, if not all, had opportunities to go other places for more money or more this or that, but they value what Baylor had and what they wanted to be a part of. And there's something to be said for people that want to be at your institution and put on a Baylor uniform as well.
You knew Caden Powell when he was at Midway, so there's another young man we had on the show that gets to come back to his hometown along with others. How much does the bulk inside? You mentioned that you guys got thin there, and also the height and weight and strength and all that, the physicality. How much do you feel like you've bulked that up after you lost Josh last year? Of course, that really became a problem.
And that's where last year, again, one of the things we didn't have was enough depth. With Caden, since you mentioned him, it's the first time we've been able to bring a player from Waco, Midway High School, back to Baylor. Obviously went to Wyoming and Rice, did a great job there. His mom's been a legendary law school professor at Baylor. But again, I think Caden had a lot of potential coming out of high school and continued to really work on his craft and get better. Top 50 offensive rebounder percentage-wise in the Ken Palm analytics, top 40 free throw rate, someone that averaged 10 and 7 at Rice, and somebody really will fit in academically and represent and cares and loves Baylor. But it's great to have a hometown player and somebody that everybody can look up at in Waco and say, yeah, he walked the same streets and ate at the same restaurants and put in the same work that hopefully I can, and I can get to Baylor one day. So in 22 years, going on 23, it's great to finally have somebody from Midway High School representing Baylor University. Excited about that.
He was thrilled, and he can play too, give you some physicality. I know there's other names. We're not going to get to all of them. Scott, how much have the last couple of years perhaps made you reflect on you as a coach and also as what the program, where the program is?
Well, I think the toughest thing is everybody in sports is competitive, and you always want to find a way to win. And just as everything is adjusted so much and changed so rapidly, just trying to make sure that we're doing the right thing to give us a chance to win the last game. And and again, only one team's winning a national championship, so that's hard to do. We all know that, but we found a way to win an NIT championship and an NCAA championship, and Coach Calipari is the only active coach to do that. And in the modern history, only Nolan and Calhoun joined that crowd. So we've won at the highest level. And as the rules continue to change, hopefully there's more stability now. We can get back to finding a way to be on top, because that's the goal of not only the Baylor fans, but the Baylor coaches, staff, and team as well. So like this group, excited for the summer tour, see what we do well, and then a coach's job is to put them in the best positions to be successful. And we'll see what happens there.
How seriously, mentally, physically exhausted were you and your staff after you guys had to piece all that together in the last 2 to 3 months?
Yeah. I wish I was 32 still. I had to add another cup of coffee to this. but again, there's going to be more transition than you've had, obviously, in previous years. But each and every year, I think we'll get more and more stable in our profession. And what's really a blessing at Baylor is to have Mac and Linda at the forefront of that, because they get to have a seat at the table and a voice in making our profession and making our university in a position where we can help young people that come here. Because at the end of the day, we do want to prepare champions for life. And it's hard to do that in 8 months. Obviously, every coach, every university would prefer to have people start and graduate at your university. And how can we work to make that happen? So if they choose to leave, they choose to leave, but they can reach their goals and dreams by staying as well.
Last question. Do you feel like just college athletics, the NCAA, everybody in general just like contributed to the mess, that you could see maybe the paint peeling or the ducts weren't working or all of these? I mean, Scott, this has been unbelievable the last 3 to 4 years.
Yeah. Well, I think it's probably a little bit like human nature, right? In college basketball, 363 schools you're trying to make happy. Then you try to incorporate all the college sports. Then you try to incorporate Division II, Division III. It's hard to make decisions that benefit everybody. So not an easy task, but obviously hindsight's 2020, and you wish you could go back in time and do a couple things different that maybe would have avoided this. But the good thing is we're heading in the right direction. The House settlement, hopefully, prayerfully, is going to make things a lot more stable in college basketball, and then we'll continue to tweak and make it a way where it's beneficial to all parties and allows some continuity.
Are you still as happy as you've ever been before? I know your faith helps you do that every day, but are you still as positive about life as you've always been?
Well, I can tell you one thing. The glass is half full in the Drew family, and one of the things with the transition is we get 15 new guys to work with this year, and normally it might be 3 or 4. So it's a lot more people you get to have an impact on, and that's a blessing. So excited about that. Obviously, everybody's more excited when you win the last game. But I tell you, last year, if there was probably one thing you could take away, hearing VJ, Jaden, Norchad's interviews after season ended, I mean, That's winning the game of life. That's eternal winning. That goes a lot longer than just your last game. I mean, normally, even if you win your last game, you have about 20 minutes till the first media person asks, "Can you repeat?" So eternity lasts a lot longer than a 40-minute game. We know.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. It's great to see your face, Scott Drew.
Great to see you, sir. Hey,
Baylor.
you're gonna have to come here and learn some new names.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know. I told Pat Nunley, and I'll need to tell J-Mo, they're going to have to go to school.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Have a great summer, Scott. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, sir.
It's 365 Sports.